Rolling on the river.
Cool.
Roll
Roll.
on the river. All right, ready?
Oh, dude, we got to have enough bloopers and stuff. Too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's just part of the show.
There definitely will be. We got to show folks who we really are.
Do you edit these on
Riverside.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like clip, drag, whatever?
Yeah, pretty much. I just split.
Nice. Scissor.
Yeah. There was it does the automatic thing or whatever, like I showed you that one time.
Yeah.
To remove like the dead spots or whatever, but it didn't. It was bad at editing, pretty much.
Cool. Are we supposed to be like looking at each other?
I don't have to.
Or do we look at the camera?
Kind of like just back and forth.
Were you looking at the camera?
When? Just now?
On your first one.
Oh, yeah, I was talking to it though. Talk to you. See what I'm saying?
Should we like?
You could like here.
Keep
here,
it the thing.
Here.
Yeah. Well, Joe Rogan never does.
Break the fourth wall a little bit. That's true.
But JD Vance, or not JD. I was just watching that.
The Theo one.
With JD Vance. I guess we can do whatever the fuck you want.
It doesn't matter. If you're addressing like yeah, I really would like the, like, you know, there's something about it, and the community could be like part of the something like that.
Oh yeah.
Cinema. This is cinema.
Cinematic.
Right. Ready to rock and roll?
I'm ready.
Welcome. Thank you for coming back to the second rendition of the.
I had shit out.
Of a bitch.
I had shit out.
All right. Oh my God! Look at the oil.
Yo. Woo! Time for an oil change.
All right. Thank you for joining us for the second rendition of the Mind, Body, and Movement podcast. It's me, Sam Fears, second-year student doctor of physical therapy at the Arkansas College of Health Education, the building that we are currently in.
Yeah.
And joining me today, I have one of my peers, my classmate, student doctor of physical therapy, Alex Dettmers. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
All right, man. So what we're going to do, I wanted to talk about big CrossFit guy, so we'll talk about that a little bit.
Sure.
And then we'll kind of jump into like what brought you here to PT, and then we'll move into your capstone project, which is kind of something we all have to do for our class.
Yeah.
To benefit the community in some way.
For sure.
So first things first, big CrossFit guy. He's a CrossFit guru in these parts, as they say. So I thought it would be interesting because I'm like a traditional gym guy, I guess. I'm the bro split. And then we got the CrossFit guy over here, so two different worlds. So I thought it'd be interesting to hear where he's coming from. I am the antithesis of this man. He circuit training, fast, moving, quick, take 35 minutes in between each set. You know, I gotta let myself ramp up a little bit. He's cardiovascular lifetimes ahead of me. Your fitness cardiovascularly is lifetimes ahead of me. That's because he runs all the time, and partially because of the circuits that he does with CrossFit. So let's start here. CrossFit. How did you get into CrossFit?
So like kind of like what you were saying, like before, my background is more just strength and conditioning. Athletic kid growing up in all the sports and whatnot. So junior high school, we're always in the weight room with, our strength coaches. And that led me, post high school, that led me down a road of, getting certified to be a personal trainer. And so strength and conditioning was my roots.
Yeah.
I was really passionate early on about like the physique, the bodybuilding. Like I cared more about how I looked than really how I felt, because as an 18-year-old kid, like
looks for everything, baby.
Looks for everying, but you feel fine. Like you recover like that. Like you're built of rubber essentially.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, when I was 19 or so, I started working at a PT clinic, and one of the PTs there, shout out Dr. Trenton Neal in Wyoming. But he was into CrossFit. He kind of introduced me to it. He was kind of like one of my mentors before I even had defined mentors and whatnot. But he introduced me to that, and slowly but surely I became addicted to it. There's so much that I think, especially now, being really enriched in healthcare.
Yeah.
There's so much overlaps between, what CrossFit, the ideology is, and what I think universally the mass or the general public could get out of fitness, if that makes sense.
Benefit from or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So that's probably kind kind of lead into the next question. Why CrossFit over like going to the regular gyms because of that aspect of?
For sure. Yeah, like a lot of my strength work is still rooted in that, those trusted and true strength and conditioning principles. I would say of my gym time, right, of that whole piece of the pie, 50 to 60, honestly, probably 70, 75% of my time in the gym is more so the true strength and conditioning training. And then that remainder 25% being the aerobic stuff, the HIIT training. To answer your question, why I continue to choose that more is one, when I was just training for aesthetics and how I looked, I felt so unathletic. And again, like I said, coming from as a kid who played all the sports and whatnot, then after high school, man, I'd get winded walking up the stairs, and I couldn't move very well. So I missed feeling athletic. So there's that. But also, like I was kind of saying, I think the ideology of what CrossFit is, their definition of fitness, which is work capacity over broad time and modal domains. So basically, like, how much work can you get done over the span of years and given any mode of fitness, any task, essentially, like how fit are you, right? So it's really trying to check every box. You walk into a CrossFit gym, you have that community aspect to it too.
That's true.
We know the big levers that will get most of the general population extremely healthy is relative strength and lean muscle mass, aerobic capacity or VO2 max, and basically like the sense of fulfillment and the sense of belonging, because again, we're real complex creatures, and again, the mind is one thing, but that's what CrossFit gyms offer, right? That community, the fitness, so like the strength and the aerobic portion. But I hope that answered your question, kind of. Like the whole package of what CrossFit sells as an ideology, I just believe in so strongly.
Yeah, so it kind of like CrossFit, like you said, coming from like high school sports and athletics, it kind of like emulates some of the stuff that you do in there. Explosive power movements. That's what makes you athletic and keeps you athletic. And the community thing, I think, is huge too.
For sure.
So a lot of times when you're in like a traditional gym setting, you almost like inevitably like end up with a gym rival that you've never met, you've never talked to,
right?
But you're like walking around just like staring at them like, I'm gonna lift more than you. But in CrossFit,
I'm stronger than
like
you.
Everybody's pumping everybody up.
For sure.
It's group classes, community thing. So I think that's kind of what I like about that.
Yeah, absolutely. In my first competition, the gym that I had gone with and kind of represented sent an all women team, and they're a little bit older, not old, but 40s, 50s, I believe. And anyway, they were finishing a workout, and it was the last workout of the day, so everyone's kind of done, just hanging around, waiting for the kind of like the
bell to ring or whatever.
Yeah, the medaling.
The ceremony.
Yeah, the ceremony.
The medal ceremony.
Medal ceremony. Yeah, whatever.
Never made it that far. Never got top 3. So
yeah, well, the medal ceremony. So everyone's waiting for that, but everybody in that gym circles around the group of ladies that went for my gym and was cheering them on, and I thought that was great because like people that were just competing against them, and of course they posed no threat because they were the last. No offense, but everybody, it's like the principle, right? Everybody was just wanting everyone to have the best time, and like
they didn't finish and leave. They finished and cheered others on.
Exactly, yeah, and I just love that. So yeah,
cool. Let me make sure this is recording. This will be cut.
Travesty if that just stop.
No, it just said 20% remaining. I thought it might have stopped, but it didn't. Still
going. Oh, nice.
Almost 10 minutes in, we're rocking it.
Cool.
Okay.
It's only been 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes. Okay. All right, I'm going to ask you. Next, I'm going to go into YPT, impact.
For sure.
And then you still want to do evidence-based, evidence-informed? Or you just want to go to capstone?
Yeah, maybe. And then if it's bad, we'll cut it out.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I feel like I'm not very well articulate today, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
All
right, so that CrossFit stuff obviously brought you to where you are here today at this PT school.
Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of like a pipeline for you to PT school. But was that how it kind of went for you?
Yeah, a little bit. Like I said, I started at a PT clinic, I want to say the year after high school. Super long story short, year graduated, just kind of screwing around, wasting space as an 18-year-old, and then kind of had that look at myself in the mirror of like, you know what, I can do. I'm capable of doing more than just working in the mall and whatever. So made a list of things I thought I'd like. At the forefront, I've always been super passionate about health, wellness, fitness, like I've shared, and I've always just loved people, obnoxiously extroverted. Never met a stranger. So like I'm trying to take all these things that I do enjoy and like, and just making lists of things that I thought I'd be good at. So on that list was top of the list with PT. Then it got into like real estate, just stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, let me try the first thing. So I'm hopping online to see if like any local PT clinics are hiring. And sure enough, my first cast hit.
Something bit.
And and then worked there for 2 years. And then I ended up having to move cities to continue my education because I was like, this is it. And then, worked at another clinic for 3.5 years while I finished undergraduate and then got ready to apply to PT school and stuff like that. So the thing that kept solidifying it was just like meeting people, helping people, and then just like being able to like make friends from every walk of life, right? So like we'd see patients come in with like a baby, right? 7 months old, torticollis, to the 101-year-old who's just kind of like
general weakness,
very deconditioned, being 101, right? But so like there's so many stories, there's so many life lessons to be learned through other people, and again, like I said, just being like annoyingly extroverted, I just love that. I fuel off of that. So that's just been kind of like the natural progression. So
hopped on the yellow brick road and never looked back.
Never looked back. Yeah.
All right. So you said kind of like to get out of it is hearing stories from other people, meeting people from different walks of life.
Yeah.
What do you want to give? What kind of impact do you want to make once you get out into the world?
For sure. So we're in this really weird place in healthcare. Not weird. It's fortunate, right? But we've gotten exceedingly well at fixing the acute injury or pathology. So what I mean by that is like somebody has a heart attack. We know how to not cure that, but we know how to make them live longer. We know how to save them, make them live longer. Someone's diagnosed with, we're in a lot of our curriculum right now is neuro-based. Once they develop these diseases, some are preventable, TBI, stroke, things of that nature. Some aren't, but we know how to keep people living longer once they have the disease. But we're not doing a whole lot to keep them from getting the disease. There's a quote that I'm just living by at the moment from Bishop Desmond Tutu Atwell. If you know me, you've probably heard it before. But there comes a point where we have to stop just pulling people out of the river and go upstream and find out why they're falling in. And I love that because, like I've said, anything health, wellness, fitness, I love people. I want to keep people from developing these chronic diseases and illness. I understand like my role as a physical therapist, like our profession isn't looked at as this, but our APTA mission, right, is to optimize the human experience through movement. We're movement specialists. So I think we should be the ones carrying the torch in the preventative medicine way. People aren't dying from mechanical knee or hip or back injuries. I pointed to my shoulder and said hip. That was rough. Shoulder and back injuries. They're dying from chronic diseases that are often preventable in nature. So I'd rather just get people in the gym, get them moving, and then fix whatever ailment or mechanical issue
comes from that
because, well, hell, at least they're not dying.
That is true.
So
that is true. Get them active. Get them active and deal with the active injuries instead of the sedentary injuries, which are often more insidious and more life-threatening.
Absolutely. So,
let me make sure one more time. I'm so nervous it's going to stop. This feels like a really good episode.
Yeah.
It was 5 minutes. Nice. All right. You want to do evidence-based, evidence-informed?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. All right, so in that, and like taking like what we learn, we do a lot of research-based stuff here in school, that was kind of one of the things you brought up. You wanted to talk about having evidence based practice in our physical therapy practice, and then evidence informed practice. You kind of go into both of those.
Yeah, for sure. I think what we're learning as a doctoring profession, we get the education, right? We get to have an opinion now, right? So I've heard before, I hear kind of conflicting things, and both sides make a good argument against it, but they talk about how, and don't get me wrong, all of our treatment should be based and rooted in evidence, right? Like what actually works, I'm going to do what works, right? So the whole evidence-based movement, I love, I'm here for that. That's one thing that I, beat over the head, because if it doesn't work, why you do it? Mm-hmm. However, with that being said, we treat humans who are very complex. I bet that was loud.
Swallow into the microphone.
Who are very complex organisms, right? Like, it would be super easy just to fix a tendon, right? Mm-hmm. Tendons, what E. Conrad used to always say, a tendon. It's not going to change. So like tendons require load to remodel, right? Mm-hmm. We know that that's how we're going to treat tendons from now until the end of time. But treating injuries isn't necessarily the hard part. I think we're starting to find it's dealing with people and their expectations. Yeah. A lot of recovery and rehab, and even the prehab, starts in here. Yeah. So evidence informed is a term that I believe, are one of the people that you and I both look up to, Peter Attia. He says this all the time, where, like, we treat humans, not just shoulders. Yeah. Or he doesn't say that, but we say that. People are quirky. They're weird. They have a lot going on, right?
Yeah, everyone's unique. Nobody's the same.
Yeah, you and I included. So when we're treating people, we need to take that into account. Like, there are things that, like, yeah, I know this is going to help you, but maybe you're not ready for this, or maybe you don't want to accept this. But we're going to obviously push to get here, but it's not going to be as simple as my way or the highway. Yeah. I'm only doing what works. Because if we really want to be evidence informed, not a whole lot of what we do as a profession, medicine in general, we know for sure A equals B, this works, right?
Because you can always find something that will refute something else.
Absolutely. So if we're going purely off of evidence, then we have very little to go off of, right? So yeah, that was just my thing. Like, it's a real long-winded way of saying, like, treat the human, not just the pathology. Yeah. The knee, the hip, the back, whatever. Those are easy to treat. The person is like
the psychosocial stuff. What goes on in their head, why they're injured, their confidence in their ability to get back out there.
For sure, because we know, like, even with back pain and pain science in general, right? Like, the way we perceive life stressors have way more to do with like incidents of low back pain than physio-anatomical reasons, So, baffling.
I agree. Yeah. All right, one more check.
Okay.
And then I'm going to jump into capstone. We're still rolling.
Perfect. Ooh, capstone. And then we can mention, like, the last week, my thing last week. Yeah. Do you want to do the thing last week, and then you're like, I don't know, intro it, like. So another cool thing you had last weekend, this. Do you want to, like, share? Or, I don't know.
I got you. Yeah. Cool. I'll pull it in after the capstone.
Cool.
Ready?
Yep.
All right. So evidence-based versus evidence-informed. Very nice. So now we'll finish up here. We'll kind of talk about your capstone a little bit. Capstone being the project that each one of us is required to do for the school in terms of trying to help bring up the community, their health and wellness. So kind of talk about yours a little bit.
Yeah. So mine is something that myself and a classmate are creating. Shout out student Dr. Dayton Wells.
Shout out Dayton.
Great dude. Been a ton of help. We are, our passion, he's incredibly passionate about a lot of the similar things. Also passionate about the youth, the future. And like we've kind of spoke about here today, how him and I view going upstream and pulling and stop people from falling into the river, like I alluded to earlier, was okay, like let's get into the communities and like really kind of affect the youth, right? Show them what it means to eat healthy, what it means to be active, just put them around positive role models who, not that we're,
The greatest guys out there.
The greatest people out there, but
people.
there are worse people, show them that, stuffy med school students are kind of cool, can be. Like I said, show them what it means to live a habitually healthy lifestyle. So what we're doing is hosting a 2-day camp over their spring break. It'll be, like I said, 2 days, end of the week. We're going to have guest speakers on the topics of nutrition and physical activity. Like I said, these kids are ranging from age 9 to 17. So in a digestible format, these speakers will be speaking in a digestible format for these kids to really just try to, allow them to take something from it. So guest speaker, we'll work out with them, send them on their way with a t-shirt and hopefully a meal. We're still going in and out of the process of getting our vendors and that's the word I'm looking for, is supporters. But anyway, that's what we're doing for a capstone. We're incredibly excited about it.
When's that going to be?
That is March 27th and 28th.
Any more questions?
Yeah.
Consult the socials.
Those will be posted soon. We'll be, posting some teasers and whatnot as it gets closer to try to build some hype. But like I said, for the most part, we're just trying to get in the community, create some change. We think society, creating lasting change in society really has to be from the, ground up. And, kids are our future. So we're naming it Fit Future, especially here in the South. We're very... not the definition of healthy, so
the least healthy part of the country.
Yeah, so that's just a fact. We're not picking on the South, but
Facts don't care about your feelings. So.
Yep, data over feelings. Yeah.
All right, cool. So talk to the kids, and then the idea maybe they take it out and talk to other kids about it, or
absolutely,
their parents too, even
spread that positive narrative.
Word of
yeah,
mouth.
Absolutely.
All right, one more check.
Okay,
then we'll talk about So last week, running it, baby. All right, so we'll finish up here. So last week you did a little seminar over at the CrossFit gym.
Yep.
We'll talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So it wasn't really motivated by this, but, people always have that misconception that CrossFit just injures people. But, I actually have a statistic pulled up for you because I was hoping this would come up. Try to dispel some myths about CrossFit. Everybody thinks it's, 24/7, balls to the wall. When that's just not necessarily the case, right? It's sound exercise prescription at higher relative intensities, right? So what is intense to me
will not be intense to me.
Might not.
Cardiovascularly,
dude's
not a chance.
Dude's a specimen. But anyway, so there's been a ton of different studies that have examined injury rates in CrossFit, and so the most recent one that I could find from Moran, Hack, and Montalvo,
perfect,
2017, found in every 1,000 training hours, there's about 2.1 to 3.1 injuries per 1,000 training hours. To put that into some context, Zumba, they're similar 1,000 training hours. Their injury rates were from 3.9 to 5.7.
Okay,
so almost
double on the high.
Almost double that for Zumba. Which, no disrespect to Zumba, but
none taken.
But Zumba. So anyway, with that being said, like we talked about earlier in the podcast, people aren't dying from these shoulder, knee, whatever injuries. They're dying from chronic diseases that are preventable in nature, right? So my passion has been to keep people moving and get people moving, right? So this is just one effort to keep people moving. I wanted to give back to my community, and just share some things that I felt I knew, and that I just wanted to share. So I hosted a knee health seminar, knee pain seminar, just kind of big picture overviewing common ways we see knee pain happen in the active community. So your recreational gym goer, CrossFitter, whatever. Common ways we do that, what pain actually means, can they exercise through pain? You were there.
Yeah.
Trying to remember.
Some rehab strategies too.
Yeah, rehab strategies, ways to adjust their training so they don't, so like I said, so they don't leave the gym, they use the gym. It's one of my favorite sayings. But yeah, rehab's just training in the presence of injury. So it was important to me to just, again, keep spreading the narrative that just because something hurts doesn't mean you need to stop moving. Yeah. That's going to kill you much faster than moving with something hurting. So
it's good too. A lot of great information, and you put us through a great workout.
Yeah, it was a pretty spicy workout. I'm proud of Sam. He kept up.
I tried
running hard, and yeah, it was a good time.
And for the next one too, socials. Next one he's got will be posted for sure.
Yep, we're coming out with details here soon. We're talking with the gym owners, and we're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff this upcoming year. So I'm pretty excited to keep that going.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, round of applause. Thank you, student doctor of physical therapy, Alex Dettmers.
Thank you, my friend.
My hands are sweaty. You feel that?
Yeah. Do I make you nervous?
I'm a little nervous around you. You know. But great episode. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for listening. And I hope you come back next week. Peace. Sweet. Oh, shit.
Dude, that was good.
Oh, I recorded all of it, too.